Rachel Jessen. I'm a health food specialist at the Nutritional Institute and co-author of the book Wholesome Nutrition for You. As a health food specialist, one of my main roles is to analyze the food choices people make and supply them with healthy alternatives, which is what you're going to see today. Our main focus is eating healthy on a budget, and I'd like to crush that myth right now as we have this gorgeous spread of fresh produce, which is around 150 Rand. How did I get that? I visited my local vegetable store where the prices are almost halved compared to the retail stores. To give you an idea of some of the examples of the prices, I paid about 16 Rand for 5 kilos of carrots, 13 Rand for 3 kilos of potato, 20 Rand for 12 oranges. As you can see, this is really not an expensive spread. So how do we use all this gorgeous ingredients? Well, let's start with a breakfast. How about making a frittata, something that's incredibly nourishing and loaded with vegetables? So what you would do is you would take last night's stir fry, heat it up in a pan, beat some eggs, pop it in the oven, and there you've got this gorgeous frittata. You can slice it in half and have the half for breakfast, add some of the raw vegetables we have here, and then off you go to work. This is an incredibly nourishing, sustaining meal. And you're eating so many more vegetables than you ever would, especially if you're buying cereals. Now let's look at lunch. Say you were taking some leftover thigh from last night's dinner. You could either have that with some brown rice and a salad, or you can shred that thigh up and make a really creative lunch. How you would do this is you would take 2 slices of bread, layer them real thick with some hummus, put it in one compartment, and then create your sandwich in the other compartment. What you would put in there would be the shredded chicken, shredded lettuce, grated carrot and beetroot. You can add some onions and radish, whatever you have available at home. Season it with salt and pepper, and when you arrive at work, you put your 2 open sandwiches on a plate and you load those with vegetables that you have in your lunchbox. This is incredibly filling, incredibly nourishing, and you're only eating 2 slices of bread. And if you have the nibbles later on in the afternoon, pack in a load of carrots. They're full of antioxidants and they're a nice clean food to eat. You could also take in an orange or a delicious apple. These were only 10 Rand for 1.5 kilos of gorgeous Granny Smith apples. And now let's move over to dinner. I want you to imagine your plate divided into quarters. You want the first 2 quarters full of vegetables. You want the 3rd quarter with a starch, and the 4th quarter a protein. So I've created a plate here to give you an idea of what we're looking at. We really want to minimize the amount of starches, particularly the processed starches like pup, which is a maize meal. It's a highly processed product where it has very low nutritional value. So the starches you're wanting, things like potatoes, pumpkin, butternut, brown rice, the less refined products. So we have a gorgeous rainbow salad here. We've added some amarula nuts, grated carrots and shredded lettuce, microgreens, and anything that you have available in your kitchen. I've added a good dollop of sauerkraut, homemade sauerkraut, incredibly cheap and incredibly nutritious for you. And then I've chosen a Zimbabwean traditional dish, which is that of beans, where I've used these jugo berry beans with white millie corn and peanuts. And I've cooked this in a gorgeous stock to elevate the nutritional level of this plate. How we work with stock is instead of buying the compressed versions that you would get in the store, which are loaded with MSG. Now MSG is an excitotoxin and it actually makes you fat. It comes with a host of horrible symptoms like headaches, nausea, chest pains. I mean, the list is endless. So you really don't want to include this product into your food. You want to include something like a stock. This is a homemade stock. What I've done here is I have put my carcass of my roast chicken that we had on Sunday night in here, and I've added very cheap cuts like chicken necks and chicken feet. So what we have here is this gorgeous stock. I've added, you can even see some of the feet there. I've added some water and something acidic, which I used vinegar. This has been going for 2 days. I've put the legs and the necks in because I want a cartilaginous stock. I want it to be thick and gelatinous. This is part of it cooled down, so we've got a nice thick jelly-like stock. This depletes our body. Stock is replenishing. It's putting the goodness back in your body. It's nourishing the lining of your gut. It helps with elimination. It's helping with your joints and your bones. It's a very, very good food to consume. Your body will do different things by consuming this ingredient rather than the MSG version. MSG is also found in processed packaged foods, cold meat, as well as ready-made soups. Look at all these gorgeous vegetables. Why on earth would you want to buy a tiny, expensive canned soup? How would you make a soup? You'd use this beautiful stock combined with some water and any vegetable you want. This can feed the whole family for at least 2 days, and you'll still have left over to freeze for a day where you're exhausted from work and too tired to actually cook a nourishing meal. You pull this soup out the freezer and defrost it, and there you have a completely nourishing dinner. So as you can see, the list is absolutely endless on eating healthy and eating economically. Get out there, start experimenting with the good stuff. Use variety in your cooking and take charge of your health. That's it from me, Rachel Jessen. Until next time.